Remember that guy who shot to TikTok fame a few years ago? With his cringeworthy point of view, POV, videos, he left many viewers scratching their heads or hastily hitting the block button. At first glance, he might seem like just another typical TikTok creator whose content makes you cringe to the core. But don't let his awkward antics and exaggerated performances fool you. He is far from harmless. Beneath the surface of those uncomfortable skits lies a much darker and more sinister reality. Zippy, often referred to as the Chin, is not merely another creator vying for views with questionable content. He has been exposed multiple times as a serial TikTok predator. Yes, you heard that right. This individual has a history of sending shocking, inappropriate, and downright disgusting messages to minors. The worst part? He seems to evade consequences despite overwhelming evidence and call-outs from the online community. This isn't just a case of someone being problematic or making mistakes. We're talking about predatory behavior so grotesque that you might wish you could unhear it. So buckle up, because today we're diving into the horrifying truth behind this so-called creator and the long trail of damage he's left in his wake. If you're not familiar with Dylan, or have been fortunate enough to avoid his cringe-inducing POV TikToks, you're in for a shocking revelation. Trust us, nobody wants to see this on purpose. In today's video, we'll explore Dylan Zippy's journey from his rise to TikTok fame in 2021 to his disturbing content and repeated predatory actions. Let's start with an introduction to this eyebrow-raising TikTok sensation who once dominated the For You page. If you're blissfully unaware of who Dylan is, a quick Google search will reveal that he gained popularity for his lip-syncing skills and dramatic POV videos. You know the type. Brooding stares, slow head turns, and just the right amount of cringe to keep you secondhand embarrassed for hours. However, what you won't easily find is the real story behind this so-called internet star. The sanitized version of him online conveniently omits his scandalous messages to minors, the mountains of evidence exposing his predatory behavior, and the painfully tone-deaf apology videos he churned out like clockwork whenever he was called out. Dylan has attempted to erase all traces of his old content, even deleting his entire TikTok account. He hit the big red delete button, hoping to wipe his digital slate clean and make everyone forget his long history of disturbing behavior. Spoiler alert, the internet never forgets, and neither do we. This isn't just a case of a creator trying to move past an embarrassing phase. This is someone actively trying to sweep their predatory actions under the rug. According to famous birthdays, Dylan was born on April 23, 2003, making him 21 years old now. He didn't start his TikTok career until the summer of 2020, when he was around 16 or 17. His profile describes him as a relatable TikTok personality, known for sharing lip-sync performances and POV skits. He amassed over 410,000 followers, but the truth is far from this sanitized image. Dylan was not even close to what we would consider a relatable TikTok personality unless you see yourself as a creepy internet predator. Dylan burst onto the TikTok scene under the name Zippy, quickly gaining traction for all the wrong reasons. Fast forward to today, and that account has mysteriously disappeared. However, the internet is forever, and we dug deep enough to unearth a trove of his cringeworthy content. Once you glimpse it, you'll understand why his videos weren't just typical teenage awkwardness. They were unsettling enough to make viewers double take and wonder if he was okay.
Wife, you believe it, I kill her. Daddy knew that I'm the only girl, the only man that I need at the game to work.
The scenarios he crafted in his POV videos were more than uncomfortable. They were walking red flags that somehow went unnoticed at the time. His bizarre obsession with fist kisses became a signature theme in his videos, woven into his content like a quirky trademark. However, it was downright disturbing.
For you to kiss the prettiest girl in the room on the lips. Oh, that's fucked up.
What's truly shocking is how this all went unnoticed for so long. His videos weren't harmless teenage daydreams. They carried a creepy undercurrent that, in hindsight, seemed like a clear warning sign. It was as if his TikToks were a giant neon sign screaming that something wasn't right. Instead of raising alarms, they drowned in the sea of TikTok trends and viral challenges. While he might have tried to erase his digital footprint, the internet's memory is sharp, and those red flags are now clearer than ever. Not only were all of his TikTok videos unbearably cringeworthy, but they also revealed a deeply unsettling side of his personality. Here's a disclaimer. If you're watching this on your phone, you might want to hold on to it tightly, because what we're about to show you might make you want to hurl it across the room.
Oh, yeah. I'll be your king. Here, lady, but there, Oslo Skady. Wait, he's not my boyfriend. I hate him. Whatever. Dean, what? Stop. Why? Because I love you, you idiot.
Dylan's content showcased his distorted perception of reality, and for whatever reason, it made him famous, mainly because he was so troll-worthy. There's no denying that something feels off about him. He might think of himself as TikTok's ultimate heartthrob, but you can't shake the uneasy feeling that accompanies his videos. If you think the cringe stops there, think again. Dylan has an ego the size of the internet, and he's not shy about showing it off. He seems to genuinely believe he's the greatest gift to humanity since the selfie. His TikTok videos weren't just awkward attempts at going viral, they were self-worship sessions. Dylan had this signature move where he would slowly stroke his chin while gazing into the camera, convinced he was serving James Bond-level charm.
Just when I think I'm getting better, I'm just getting by. So why do I still wanna get high with my friends every night? Why do I just wanna get...
This infamous chin-stroking action earned him the nickname The Chin. Initially, it might sound like a compliment, but let's be real. It became a meme, a punchline, and a hallmark of his cringe-inducing antics. Despite the humor surrounding his persona, the underlying self-obsession was chilling. Dylan didn't just act like he thought he was irresistible, he truly believed it. He seemed convinced that his TikToks were Cupid's arrows, striking down girls left and right. Unfortunately, the reality was far from it. Dylan's self-confidence bordered on delusion, and this became painfully evident in his videos. He rated himself a perfect 10 out of 10 on the attractiveness scale, stating, "I'm a 10. Yeah, I'm flawless." His belief in his own perfection was almost admirable, if it weren't so unsettling. However, Dylan Zippy isn't just a self-proclaimed TikTok stud, he also considers himself a multi-talented superstar in the making. He frequently posted singing covers, believing he had the pipes of a pop star. Each performance dripped with enough overconfidence to make Simon Cowell wince. Despite his cringe-worthy videos being only the tip of the iceberg, a much darker side lurks beneath the surface of this so-called TikTok star. Dylan has been exposed for engaging in reprehensible behavior online, using his self-proclaimed fame to manipulate and lure underage girls. This isn't just speculation. Numerous creators and YouTubers have stepped forward with undeniable proof and damning receipts. What surfaced was not just ugly, it was downright vile. The kind of behavior that makes you lose faith in humanity. It's stomach-churning to discuss, but it's crucial to call out individuals who abuse their platforms and cross moral and legal boundaries. Many viewers felt uneasy about Dylan's bizarre attempts at romantic content, sensing there was more going on beneath the surface. It was only a matter of time before he crossed a line, and sadly, that moment came sooner than anyone wanted to believe. After turning 18, a series of accusations began surfacing, pointing to a disturbing pattern of behavior involving underage girls. The first allegation came from a 14-year-old girl who claimed Dylan had sent her inappropriate pictures. While most of the pictures didn't feature his face, there were telltale signs like his signature white beanie and the surrounding LED lights. that indicated they were indeed from him. Dylan initially brushed off the accusations, but as the evidence piled up, he was forced to address the situation in a video.
Again, for 40K followers, it means a lot to me, but this is not why I'm here. I need to talk to you guys for a bit. This is my apology video, so for anyone out there, I just want to say I'm sorry, and I did not mean to be creepy in any way. I just wanted to be a nice person and to sing for her. And I did not know that she was 14. She didn't tell me her age. So it was wrong of me to do that. So I just want to say I'm sorry. And hopefully you guys can appreciate it and accept my apology. And yeah, and hopefully you guys accept it. So.
In this so-called apology video, Dylan admitted to talking to an underage girl and sending her inappropriate pictures. However, the timing and tone of the video were appalling. Instead of genuine remorse, it felt like a poorly veiled attempt at damage control, conveniently posted as he celebrated hitting 40,000 followers. Dylan's response was a mix of insincerity and deflection. He claimed he didn't know she was 14 and insisted he only wanted to be a nice person. However, sending explicit pictures to a minor is not nice behavior. Despite his half-hearted apology, the backlash intensified. People began to recognize him as that TikTok creator who sent inappropriate pictures to a 14-year-old. Instead of becoming more cautious, Dylan continued his troubling behavior, with more screenshots circulating online showing him inappropriately messaging minors, despite knowing their ages. Dylan's pattern of predatory behavior was becoming undeniable. The turning point came when a second accusation surfaced, this time from a 13-year-old girl who also exposed him for sending inappropriate pictures. The evidence was irrefutable, and any remaining credibility he had evaporated. As people began to compare him to other infamous predators like Colleen Ballinger, it became clear that Dylan was using his fleeting fame to manipulate and target underage girls. When caught in the act, he continued to engage in inappropriate conversations, even with decoy accounts posing as minors. One notable incident involved Dylan responding to a decoy account that posed as a 14-year-old girl. After initially thanking her for a compliment, he dug his grave deeper by declaring he was single and asking for her Snapchat. This blatant display of desperation further solidified the public's perception of him as someone who couldn't read the room or the internet. Dylan's behavior escalated, and the evidence against him continued to mount. There were disturbing screenshots where he asked a minor for explicit pictures, fully aware of her age. He even inquired about hanging out and suggested cuddling, a clear indication of his inappropriate intentions. Despite being caught multiple times, Dylan's actions continued. A former TikTok creator revealed that he had been in a group chat with Dylan and had warned him about his behavior, but to no avail. It became evident that Dylan had been engaging with underage girls long before he turned 18.
Dylan Zippy asking a young girl to come over to his place. This is Dylan Zippy asking a young girl if it would fit. Despite being caught multiple times over the past 3 years, Dylan Zippy continues with this behavior, which was going on way before he was 18. When he was 17, he was trying to 13 and 14-year-olds.
Dylan Zippy is 20 years old, and I knew him before he was 18. The reason I knew him was because there was a Snapchat group chat of a bunch of TikTokers, and we were both in it. And this was before all this stuff came out about him. While we were both in this group chat, it came out that while he was 17, he was multiple 14-year-olds, multiple 13-year-olds. I told him to cut it out. Did he? Not at all. Us creators ended up contacting his parents about his behavior. They made him deactivate an account, but since then he's moved out. Unsurprisingly, 2 years later, he has once again been caught trying to and meet up with 14-year-olds. He entirely ignores the recent time he was caught trying to sex a 14-year-old, and he knew the ages.
Eventually, Dylan vanished from the public eye, deleting his TikTok account and attempting to erase his digital footprint. Yet, as is often the case with predators, he didn't truly disappear. He remains active on other social media platforms. albeit with a different focus, mostly photography and music-related posts. Despite his attempts to reinvent himself, the same creepy behavior lingers beneath the surface. While he may have shifted his content, the underlying issues remain. He's trying to distance himself from his past actions, but the reality is that you can't outrun your history. In conclusion, while Dylan Zippy may have disappeared from TikTok and stopped posting his cringe POV videos, the question remains, is he truly done? Has he learned from his mistakes, or is he still contacting minors behind the scenes? The lack of real consequences for his actions raises troubling questions about the safety of young people online. As we move forward, it's crucial to remain vigilant and ensure that platforms are safe spaces for everyone, especially minors. If you've stayed this far into the video, let us know in the comments how you felt about it. We aim to cover every aspect of Dylan Zippy's disturbing story, but if we left anything out, feel free to comment below.